Hey, friends. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, and welcome to another episode of Empowered Mindset Minute. So, for those of you that I don't know, if you're catching this broadcast for the first time, welcome. My name is Patricia Cimino. I am a certified life coach, and I help entrepreneurs grow their businesses. And last April, I started this series, Empowered Mindset Minute, where every week I've been coming live, sharing a topic and 3 strategies to thrive. And so this month, I've been talking about self-care. And in honor of Valentine's Day, this week's message and topic is about creating big results with one simple ingredient. So it's one simple ingredient. It's not easy, but it's simple. And so last year, I radically took a new approach to my business as a coach and to my body. And the net result was that I grew my business by more than doubling it, and I shed off 15 pounds. And I didn't do this with a fancy strategy, a business strategy, or with a special diet. I did it with one thing. And that one thing was self-love. Now, self-love is something that each of us have a different definition of what self-love is for us. But for me, it was about paying attention to how I was talking to myself. It was about how I was treating myself. And the more that I started to pay attention to those things and put some strategies in place, the more that I noticed I became happier. I started flourishing in some of these areas of my life that had been struggle before that. So I want to share with you through 3 strategies that I employed for self-love. So the first strategy is to say no so that you can say yes more. So what does that mean? It means getting honest with all of the things that you are committing to, the things that you're saying yes to. So do you ever find yourself sometimes agreeing or saying yes to do something and afterwards you're like, why did I do that? It's like paying attention to those things and right off the bat being honest enough to say, this is not something I want to do right now. It's about paying attention to circumstances or even people in your life that you want to allow and be part of, and some of those things that you just don't want to tolerate anymore. So how do you even decipher what that looks like? I decipher it by how it feels internally, like how it feels in my body. Like when I'm being asked to do something, or if I see an opportunity and it just doesn't feel like a yes, yes, then it's time to say, no, not this one. I'll sit this one out and engage it by the way that I feel. If they feel like there's an energetic vibe, yes, I'm all over it. If it feels depleting, it's something that I pass on. So that was something that really helped me out, and it's something that can help you out too, just by starting to pay attention to that. So I found the result of that was like more fulfillment and newfound energy to like focus on more things that I love, more things that I want to say yes to. So the first strategy is start to say no so that you can say yes more. The second strategy is to love the skin you're in, flaws and all. So we all have this habit of like the minute we pass by a mirror, we notice our flaws. We notice the thing that bugs us about ourselves. Well, I decided to turn that around, and I decided to pick out one thing, and this is what I'm sharing with you, to pick out one thing that you love about yourself. It could be your toes. It could be your nose. It could be a character trait like your honesty. And when you pass by a mirror, tell yourself, I love my nose. I love my toes. I love how honest I am. Right? Tell yourself those things every time you're in the car and you glance in the rearview mirror. Tell that one thing that you love about yourself to yourself as you're passing down the hall and you spot yourself in the mirror of the bathroom. What happens is every time you do that, you reinforce what you love about yourself, then your brain will start to look for another thing that you love about yourself. So it actually, instead of looking at all your flaws and then noticing all of your flaws, you start to notice the one thing that you love, and then you start to notice other things that you love. It's contagious for your brain. Hi, Maite. Thanks for jumping on. The third thing that the third strategy for self love is to follow through on what you say you're going to do. Now, how many times have you said you're going to do something and then you don't end up doing it? Here's a great opportunity that when you say you're going to do something, follow through and do it. Think about it. How many times has a friend asked you to do something and you absolutely showed up for them? Show up for yourself. Show up for yourself. You wouldn't let that person down. Don't let yourself down. What ends up happening when you follow through is you start to build your self-trust muscle. You guys know I talk about that all the time. Your self-trust muscle. Why is that important? Because then you can start to count on yourself, right? You know you're not going to let yourself down. You start to believe in yourself, trust yourself that you're going to do what you said you were going to do. You start to accumulate these little wins and they become big wins. So, what is one little thing that you committed to, maybe earlier in the day? Maybe it was you're not going to eat the chocolate chip cookie that's sitting on the counter, right? How can you follow through and stay committed to your word by the end of the day? Awesome. Yes, integrity with yourself. It totally builds integrity with yourself. Thank you, Mate. Okay, so I love this quote. I always share a quote with you. And this one is, self-love is not selfish. You cannot truly love another until you know how to love yourself. You guys, this couldn't be further from the truth. So just the 3 strategies to employ self-love. Number 1, say no. Be honest. Say no so you can say yes more. Number 2, love the skin you're in, flaws and all. Focus on one thing that you love. Tell yourself it. Number 3, follow through on what you say you're going to do. All right, you guys, that wraps it up for this week. So if you like these strategies, I'm going to put a link down below where you can get these strategies directly deposited into your inbox every single week. So if you miss my live, you've got it in an email format. Okay, if you like this strategy, please share it. Thank you for jumping on, Maite. And thanks, Rosa, for jumping on. Make it a magnificent day. I'll see you back here next week.